sketch in this sketchbook. So we have been working through the sketchbook. You can see here that we have kind of started, and we've been flipping back and forth how I do it. So we started off with kind of inside the front cover, but generally I just start with flipping to the back and doing a palette swatch, and then you can see that we've kind of flipped to the front and the back sort of based on things that I was working on. So sometimes if I'm just kind of working on things, I'm not sure how they're going to work out, I just like to go to the back, and then if I want to do something that's a bit more serious, or like I'm trying a bit harder, then I flip to the front. So you can see there that there's the inside cover we did, and then the front page we still have to work on. So I always leave that till I kind of know the paper and can kind of, give it a bit more attention. So when you first open the sketchbook, it's really nice. But here you can see we have some ribbon. This is from Natalie Stopka on Etsy. So it's this gorgeous marbled silk ribbon. So I've just used a crocodile here and just punched a hole here. I didn't even use an eyelet or anything. I might go back in with like a little bit of glue just around the hole there inside it, just kind of to, maybe with like a toothpick, just to sort of shore that up so it doesn't come apart, but it seems to be working fine. So I just put the ribbon through there, and then I tied it off a little bit low so it kind of just hangs off the side a little bit there. So I normally get my silk ribbons from Myrtle on Etsy, but occasionally I like to treat myself to a Natalie Stopka one. They're so beautiful. I really love her work, and she also makes gorgeous sketchbooks, and she does like a lot of natural dyeing and just beautiful things. So you can see here that I really like the kind of ribbon. It works with all the pages in here. And I think kind of this year I haven't had a journal. Like I normally make a junk journal, so I have that to work in, and a sketchbook, but haven't been able to do the junk journal this year. So I think I'm kind of incorporating bits of this into this sketchbook. So these were some of the last kind of little bits of footage that I took actually at this desk, and it's not set up anymore, but I thought it would be nice. So I did sketch it out before we moved, and I thought it would be nice to just kind of go back in and do a little bit of a sketch here. And I think it's a good opportunity for if you're wanting to sort of do watercolor, but you want to practice sketching, this is a really good way to do it. Just find a little corner of your desk or your home, or create like a tablescape, or maybe even find a flat lay that you like the look of, and you can just practice sort of sketching and painting it here. So this is a fairly easy one because you've got the sort of two plates with the scallop edges that are coming down from the top, and we have a couple of things, like you can see the little container here that I'm drawing. It's the little silver one with it's actually a little French for pastries or something. It's from Williams Sonoma. So yeah, I love to get like cooking things to put sort of craft supplies in, but they always sort of say, oh, what are you cooking? And I'm like, no, I'm putting craft stuff in it. And then they just, oh, that's not good. It's not a good thing. So anyway, but so yeah, you can see here I'm just kind of doing it around the edges there. There's the stack of sort of books, like traveler's notebooks, and then on the other side there's the palette, and then in the middle here we just have this napkin. So this is from Illustre Paris, and it's one of the things that last Christmas I got a couple of things for the channel. This was one of them. The porcelain palette was one. So they're in the first day of the Advent calendar, and all the links and everything are there. But it's something I really wanted to get to sort of make the footage nice, and sort of to create like a little set for the videos. So, you know, there's parts of the sketch that are complicated, like this little embroidered bit, but you kind of just trying to break everything down into rectangles, circles, and then go from there, you know, where is everything spatially on the page, and then how you can break it up fairly easily like that. So on that day I finished there, and then you can see here that I've gone back in and added a couple of the things that were like in the plate, so the pastels, and then I've put this sketchbook actually here in the middle of the page here. So one of the things we're sort of going to look at today is not only just having an enjoyable paint kind of a scene and just practice, but also looking at colours and how to take a very colourful scene. So you'll see like on the desk, you know, there's quite a lot of colour, but then how do you bring all that colour together to make a painting that doesn't look too disjointed, that it's still harmonious? And so as we get more into it, you'll see that one of the ways that we do that is through the neutrals and bringing some more muted colours in. So we'll talk a bit more about that at the end, but I will just let you kind of enjoy you can see here like I'm backwashing some water in to get a bit of interest there on the sketchbook cover. So we've got cooking going on, there's foil in the background if you can hear all of that. Sorry about that. So okay, let's see. So I'm just going to kind of let you watch this, but I just wanted to kind of show you this is the Sugarlight and the white mixed together. So I really like how this kind of, I'm trying to colour match things. You can see like this is the ribbon off the side there, and we let that dry and then go back in with the marbled pieces. And yeah, I will let you watch it and I will talk to you in a minute. So one of the things you might notice is that I am painting all of the objects before I paint the background. So you can probably do it either way, but I found that once I wanted to start, and I just wanted to paint in this is another favourite mix. So this is cobalt turquoise with a bit of white, and then I add in, I think, a bit of ultramarine violet. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily matter, it's so pretty, but it doesn't really matter which way you decide to do it, whether you do the background first and then add in the other details, or do the details first. But I just preferred to do it like this. I know that I'm going to come in and do a wash for the background of the desk, so I just wanted to get some details in first, and then we'll talk about how I do the wash and everything in a minute as well. And you can also see that I'm being quite loose with the sketching in of the colours here. So I am doing this more of a sketch than like a painting, or I guess it's a sketch style painting. So I am you know, just really enjoying kind of having a moment to just paint something and sort of playing with colour and shape. So one of the things that I should mention here as well is that I am not necessarily keeping true to exactly what my desk looks like here. So I am, at some point, you know, I start out kind of with an idea of the, you can see this is the Schminke Gold watercolor as well. It's really pretty, but I start out with kind of an idea of, you know, what I want to achieve, and then as I'm kind of putting those colours down, I might change them and tweak them so that to make the actual painting more harmonious, not necessarily like I'm not just trying to be super intentionally realistic at that point. So, and I just wanted to explain a few of these things because I've had some questions lately which are really great questions, and you know, feel free, if I'm not sort of clear about something like this, you can, you know, always ask and I can, you know, expand more on it in a video as well. So I should point out here as well that you can see the middle of the page there is torn. So this is one of the pages that I had to tear to kind of open and lay the sketchbook flat. So it's one of the things that just I was a little bit upset about for the price with the shipping, you know, of this particular sketchbook. But when I look at the shop, there's always so many tempting books in her shop. So you know, it's something, if it was either the shipping was a little bit less or the quality was a little bit better, then I would be happy with that. But I just want to kind of explain the pros and the cons of something, you know, for you. And look, you know, supplies are very subjective as well. So sometimes, you know, colours that I show is just a starting point. You know, might like a completely different palette, but just the video might inspire you to look around for different colours or something, which is, you know, that's what it's all about. So at the end of the day, I'm just kind of showing you what I'm using, what I have, and what I think the pros and cons, you know, of that particular thing are. And then hopefully you can grow sort of some art supplies that you really enjoy using and really love as well. So okay, so this is a new brush that I got. This is like a really large brush, but I'm really happy with it. It's a synthetic one, and I got it because the other large brush that I have, it's a squirrel mop, so it takes a lot of water, which is really perfect on, you know, large paintings, but it also uses so much pigment. So I've been really worried about that and using a larger brush. And this one here doesn't hold much water, so it doesn't also hold much pigment. So I'm not sort of wasting pigment just doing mixes or sketches or things like that. So, and I really enjoy having just the shape of it as well, and just having it for these larger portions of paintings. So let's see here. I basically have, I'm just doing little bits and pieces of the background here one at a time, so I'm not trying to do the whole thing at once. And I'm adding in some of the browns and some of the hematite as well, just to give some difference and in the shading and things. So all of the and you can see here I'm just laying down water, and then I'm going to add in the colour, and I'll do that for the rest of the desk. But all of the colours that I'm using here as well are on the favourites palette video, so it's I'll try and link that below. And then I think the two colours that are not in that video is the Peach Pop from Little Reverie Studio, which is that kind of really melon coloured, beautiful up the top there, the colour, and then the Azalea, which is the neon pink, so really gorgeous as well. I'll link those shops. So here I'm using one of my favourite mixes. This is the Raw Umber Violet and the Shell Pink. So you can use like a violet earth type colour with a little bit of a like vermilion and a white. So at this point I'm just adding in any extra little bits and pieces of watercolour. So like here I'm adding in the composed green over the fuchsite, and I add in a little bit more watercolour, like a second glaze on top of some of the pastels and things like that, just kind of finish off anywhere. You can see here like I'm more dry brushing on little bits of shadow and things like that, and then I come back in to kind of finish off a few details with some pencils, and I'll show you kind of how I am shading it and bringing the colours a little bit more together. Okay, so I have just a few of my favourite pencils here. This is the Caran d'Ache Supercolor Brownish Orange, and I think I really just like the tone of this. It's kind of like, you know, the Sedona and the sort of a pink brown, the ones I really, you know, enjoy using. So you can see I'm kind of using the circular motions, and if I was not on, you can see like it's a bit scribbly here on camera. And I'm also sort of going for that more sketch oriented look, but if I was doing this a bit more polished, I would take my time, sharpen the pencil and do small round like a circular motion to kind of blend it a little bit more like that. And you can see I really love the pink, the neon pink over the brown there. It's really pretty. Just the way that kind of pencil area turned out. So let's see. Yep, I just keep going through and adding some pencil in here. This is the Prismacolor Neon Pink. And I think I use, so this is another Prismacolor. I think this is Lavender. And yeah, I'm just kind of adding in a little bit of shading here to brighten up some of this. So this might look like the same pencil, but it was, I think the lilac and the lavender were the two different Prismacolors. Just adding a bit of detail. Now, this is one of my favorites. This is the grey-green light. And you can see here I'm using this more for highlights. So I really enjoy adding this in and just sort of creating a bit of atmosphere and muting down those colours and kind of letting them sort of meet somewhere in the middle. So this one here I'm using for a bit more shadow, and this is the violet grey in the Illuminance. And then I also use like a peach coloured one. I'm not sure which one this is. Could be, I'm not really sure which one it is. Derwent, Lightfast, I'm not sure. But you can see as well that I'm using this, this might be the pink white. So I am just also creating some more highlights and bringing those colours together a little bit and adding a little bit of harmony with these sort of muted colours. So you can see I add a little bit of shadow and a little bit of highlight, but neither of them are very stark. Like they're not very dark shadow colours, and they're not very white highlights. They've got a little bit of colour to them, just to add some interest and not a whole amount of depth here. I always like the work to just blend a little bit more, be very soft on the eyes. But again, if I was doing a more finished piece, I would just add a touch more dark here, not in the whole area where I've added like that brown, but you could see like just around the edges, I'd just add little tiny bits of darker colours to sort of make those stand out a little bit more. But then I just finished it off with some Gold Winsor & Newton ink and the dip pen. And it's just become kind of a nice little reminder in the sketchbook of, you know, how the desk looked versus my desk kind of at the minute, desk in air quotes. And I will leave you with a little bit of footage. We went into the Statue of Liberty Park the other day, and so I will have some videos coming up about that and a few other really nice ones. We have the nature journal ones coming up as well, so they're some of my favourite to film and to put together. So I hope you enjoyed those, and I will see you guys fairly soon. Have a good week. Bye.